Hi, I'm Jagmeet.
I'm Avni,
I'm Mandar.
and our language is Jam.
So let's jam
it.
We wanted our language simple and easy to understand. It's been influenced by elegant languages like JavaScript, blocks implemented explicitly like C makes it modular and clean. Our language is strongly typed like Java, and hence each type of data is predefined as part of the programming language. An advantage of strong data typing is that it imposes a rigorous set of rules on a programmer and thus guarantees a certain consistency of results. Jam has a regular simple syntax and is pretty easy to run from command prompt like shell. Language design includes modularity, reliability. We have iteration with while loops, decision making conditional statements, easy intermediate code with simple keywords. Scope resolution is done runtime. The language maintains a data structure that is symbol table implemented as a hash table, and the runtime environment is in Java. The language features includes local and global scoping of variables. Prior declaration of variable is necessary since it's strong typed. Integer and boolean data types, assignment, arithmetic operations, conditional statements, while loop, we have functions, an abstract data type stack, wherein the implementations include two operations, pushing and popping, and a pointer to the top of the stack. We have recursion implemented in our language. Since it's modular, it has blocks overall. Language is case sensitive, and there's no semicolon at the end of the statement. That is, a new line itself is treated as end of statement. We actually evaluated a few tools like Flex and Bison, and even low-level virtual machine for the runtime environment. And based on our evaluation, we actually found out that Flex and Bison was simple for grammar construction, but learning NTLR4 tool was fast, and also validation of grammar is quick and easy through parse trees. LLVM was hard to understand and implement in less time to generate the intermediate code and runtime environment, so we decided to come up with our own runtime environment in Java. Thus, our language has following components. There is NTLR parser generator for grammar, string template, Java template engine for language translation, and we have our runtime environment in Java. Here's a sample program whose input is a jam file. Then there's an intermediate code which is pretty simple to understand. It is start, end, and declaration. And ultimately it prints a hello. Moving on to the intermediate code implementation by Avni.
So we will start off with the overview of intermediate code generation. We have used Antler 4 for grammar generation. Antler 4 gives parse tree as an output based on the input and the grammar which you have specified. The next step in generation of IC is to walk through this parse tree. This can be done by generation of visitor classes. When you execute the following command, which you can see on the screen, two, two visitor classes are auto-generated. One is a visitor class which provides an interface which is a interface which provides functional declarations for all the non-terminals which we can visit, and the next class is a base visitor which implements this visitor class. We have to generate two new classes, which is my visitor class which extends this base visitor, and another main class which will invoke the visit function. We have also used string template to format the intermediate code. Now we'll see the grammar of function call. As you can see, we have the p start and p end are the starting and the ending blocks of our program. Inside the program, there can be various program blocks. As you can see, the first program block here is the function definition. It consists of the keyword function, function name, and its parameters. Then inside the function block, we have various statements. Here you can see these are all various types of arithmetic operations and a print statement. And outside the function block, there is a function call which specifies the function name and its parameter. Next, we will see the grammar for our conditional loop, that is if else. The grammar for this loop is pretty simple. As you can see here is a declaration statement. The the program block goes to if statement which has if parentheses, the condition and a block. Block will again contain various statements. Here as you can see this is an assignment statement. Then there is an else and again block for the else part. As you can see from this diagram, the grammar for while loop is exactly similar to what we had in for if else. Just instead of two blocks, it has one block. Our language also supports an inbuilt integer stack which has which provides three functions. One is stack push, which pushes the integer element to the top of the stack. The second is top function, which prints the top of the stack. And the third is the pop function, which pops the element from the top of the stack and prints it. Before proceeding further, let us first see the format of the intermediate code. We have tried to keep the format very simple, which will make it easier for our runtime environment to parse. Let's see a simple IC for a simple function call. Start and pstart and pend show the start and end of the program block. The declaration keyword here shows the declaration of function and its parameters. The call keyword is for invoking the function and its parameters are listed after the function name. This slide shows a simple visit function of the myVisitor class created. This class extends the base visitor class which Antler generates. You can see a simple function which shows the generation of intermediate code for a simple integer declaration statement. Here, you can create an instance of string template class and define the template as shown. The words specified in angular brackets are the tags. Using the add function, we replace the tags with its corresponding values. These values are the ones which we access from the input file when this visit function is invoked. The render function replaces the tags with its values and renders the string in the form of the template which we have specified. Hence, using the string template and visitor class, we have generated and formatted our intermediate code. Now the development of our runtime environment will be explained by Mandar.
I will be giving you a brief overview of runtime environment development. Our runtime is built in Java. It takes input as intermediate code. It passes the intermediate code tokens as encountered line by line. Variable scoping is implemented using maps in Java. It produces output on command line. The significant feature of our runtime was function class. We used function class in Java to store parameters, function body, and function name. I will be giving you a brief overview of how the functions are handled in runtime. Our intermediate code states that pstart and pend will indicate start and end of the program. Here, idef a comma 1 says integer definition of a equal to 1. After that, the declaration of function starts as declare f name with parameter int a. Fstart indicates start of a function and fed indicates the end of the function. After that, I'm printing a like with print a as input. After that, I'm making a function call like call f name with a parameter 15. So our language is interpreted language. It interprets the line by line and executes the code. But what happens while declaring a function is you should not start executing a function when the declaration is not finished. So you have to keep track of the function body. So to achieve this, I have created a function.java file. It has three variables. One is a function name, one is function body, and a hash map to store function parameter as well as the scope of the function. So whenever you encounter declaration f name, what we are doing is we start storing the function body. We create a flag of function flag equal to true. Then we store the function till we encounter fn, like function end, as 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 far like as soon as we encounter function end in our program, it starts execution. It stops storing the function body. After that, you will get a full-fledged function object with function name, function parameters, and function body with the scope as well. After that, it starts looking for where the call statement is. As soon as you encounter a call statement for a function, it starts looking into a symbol table where the function object is stored. It gets the function object from the symbol table, it takes the function body, and it starts executing the code. As you can see, I'm assigning a equal to 1 before the declaration of the function, and I'm printing a. So when the program execution starts, it prints 1 first. Then after a call is made to fname with a parameter f15, it goes inside the function. It encounters b equal to 10 and prints b first. That's why we can see a 10 here. After that, it is printing a. Now, as we have assigned 15 as a parameter, the a gets assigned and it gets put in the function scope. So when you try printing a, it gives the value of 15. Then again, an assignment statement is done on a previously declared a with a equal to 12. And then again, we are printing a, which comes out to be 12. As you can see, this will be the output, like function name, and then the output which I just explained. These are the challenges faced by our team while doing the project 2. Learning the tools like Antler and STG were time taking. We initially tried with Flex and Bison, but it turned out that Antler uh, development was easier than Flex and Bison. So we followed that approach. Secondly, constructing complex grammar was again a big challenge for us because when all the features of the language are combined, there are loopholes which you need to take care of. Generating intermediate code through STG was again a very big task. We had to write our own string templates. We had to test them a lot, and after a lot of effort, we were able to generate a complete intermediate code. Building runtime from scratch was again a biggest challenge because using a runtime already built is a different thing, and thinking about challenges like handling functions, scoping is a big task while building any runtime. That's it from Team 11. Happy coding in our language.